Hey guys, what's up? So we have a new update on Advanced Server and it's patch 1.6.76. First on our list is Nana. The developers shortened the standby duration from 12 down to 2 seconds. That means Molina will disappear after 2 seconds. But in return, it can now chase the enemy much faster. Previously, it takes half a second or so before it chases the enemy. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the range is now smaller. I think the Molina nerf will greatly affect her support capability. It's no longer effective in zoning the enemies as well as using it as a ward. They also increased the damage of her first skill, but lowered the magic scaling on her ultimate. Next is Kimmy. You can now aim with her first skill like this. And if the energy runs out, it will automatically change its damage to basic attacks. Previously, you had to activate the skill before you can use it. Now you just aim it like this. I like this one because there's no more delay when switching from her first skill to basic attacks. I think they made Kimmy easier to play with this update. Next is Thamuz. They removed the damage over time effect on his passive skill. But in return, his basic attacks can now activate the lava by chance. It only works when he's holding his sights. The eruption delay is also shortened, making it easier to hit the enemy. So they removed the burning effect and gave more chances to activate the lava energy. The sights on his first skill will no longer stop when hitting minions. And his ultimate now has a new feature where he gains extra HP and regen for the skill duration. Next is Irithel. They added a new effect where her next basic attack will become AoE after traveling for a certain distance. As you can see, Layla received damage at the back. This is the icon counter for the new effect. Once it reaches 100, her next basic attack will be enhanced and will hit multiple enemies.
Let me harness you.
To balance Irithel, they had to remove the AoE damage when using her ultimate. Instead, it will require less moving when her ultimate is activated. As you can see, the icon counter is faster during her ultimate. I guess the developers wanted to give her more damage even if she's not using her ultimate. Next is the buff on Floryn. Her first skill damage is increased and also added slow effect. Her second skill will now stun upon hitting a target. And her ultimate heal now has a stronger magic scaling. But unfortunately, it's not implemented yet. We can only see the patch notes. Next is the nerf on Baxia. The developers think he's too strong, so they're nerfing some of his stats. Lower HP growth and weaker damage for his ultimate. Is it the end of Jungle Baxia? Next is the nerf on Grock. His passive skill will now give less defense from physical attack stats and less damage on his ultimate skill. They removed almost half of the damage when his ultimate hits a wall. Next is Valentina. More nerf since her last one had little effect on her ban rate. They lowered the early game experience she gets from her passive skill. Is this enough to move her out of the ban section? Next is the nerf on Belerick. The developers think he's too strong lately, so they're lowering his passive skill damage in the early game. Next is the Flame Retribution spell. The developers think it's too weak compared to its alternatives, so they'll increase the stats you can steal from the enemy. Next is the Vengeance spell. It's overshadowing the other spells in the tank meta, so they'll nerf its damage reflection from 40 down to 35%. Next are the item changes. Twilight Armor will now trigger its damage more frequently, from 2 to now 1.5 seconds. They lowered the damage from Cursed Helmet, but increased its damage modifier against minions. So weaker damage on heroes, but higher when clearing minion waves. Same effect for its recipe item, Molten Essence. Last one is another nerf for the item Immortality, from 30 to now 20 physical defense. So what can you say about the update? Do you agree with the changes on Kimmy, Nana, and Irithel? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. That's all for this video. Stay safe and thank you for watching.